The best summer of my life quickly changed. Like, worst case scenario, like, this is not good. Like, immediately, like, the fear, like, rattled us. Hi, I'm Josh Moore. I'm 27 years old. I live here in Edmonton, Alberta. Well, I was born in Calgary and was raised there my whole life. I think I was in grade 10. I got a call in my heart. I was at Sunnyside Youth Camp. And I turned it away. I was like, no, God, no. I'm not going to ministry. I got plans. I had a phase where I kind of even pushed God away a bit more too. Eventually, when everything was crumbling, what did I end up going back to? That call to ministry. And I was like, well, if nothing's going to work, God, then I'm going to give this a shot. I called my dad. He burst into tears. And he's like, I always knew you were going to go into ministry. My dad was probably like my closest relationship, and also the most struggling relationship at times. We jarred heads so many times, but at the end of it, we'd be like, hey, let's talk sports. No matter what, we still found a way to connect. And like I said, through sports, coach for 11 years. The only reason he stopped for the last 2 years is because he couldn't. And he was diagnosed with a pretty rare form of cancer that was quite aggressive on his body, took over his whole body. So he battled that for years, and he still was dad. Never changed the family dynamic, but it was just a different form of dad, I guess you could say. And through his cancer journey, he had cancer for close to 10 years, or just about 10 years. The longer it went, the more we thought, he'll just get through it. And you hear lots of cancer stories of like people within months, it went up through their bodies like that. But he somehow fought. And there's so many times when doctors said to him, like, we don't understand how you're going, but you are. The best summer of my life quickly changed. So I got engaged last year. So August 6th, we got married. It was a perfect day. I wouldn't change a thing about it. And we go away for a honeymoon. And we went to Vancouver, because that's all you could do. And when we came back, though, we were going to have a little celebration down in Calgary with the people I grew up with. That I couldn't invite everybody up to this wedding. So it was like, let's have a little Calgary get together. So we went down for that. And on the way down, I remember literally sitting on the highway. Got a call from Mom, Dad got COVID. And we're like, worst case scenario, like, this is not good. Like, immediately, like, the fear like rattled us. So we wake up on Saturday morning, and that was we were supposed to have the celebration, and my mom called, and it was like, Dad had a seizure last night and he's not doing good. So we got pretty nervous, and he got taken to the hospital. That night, just before that seizure, I actually went over and got to see him through the window. And that would be the last time I saw him. So he got taken to the hospital after the seizure. And hospitals at the time were not very accessible. So it was kind of a challenging time, but we call him every day, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. Watching lots of YouTube and reading my Bible, stuff like that. And I was like, hey, that's good. He's okay. After about a week in the hospital, he could notice he was getting weaker. Things just kind of started quickly going downhill. Only my mom's been able to go see him. And we get a phone call from him saying, hey, he could tell he's scared, right? Scared. And he said, they're going to put me under. I'm going to go into a coma, a medically induced coma. because they think my body will fight stronger with me not trying to be awake and wasting energy. They'll go put me in a coma. They know what they're doing. But you can tell he was scared. And that'd be the last time I heard his voice. He was in a medically induced coma for 21 days. So just a body in a sense. But we thought, you know what, he's going to pull through. He's going to pull through. Like, the coma's good. The coma's good. One day we dropped off my mom. We went for a walk like we did every day. And my mom called me and said, the doctor's saying you guys can come in now. And I go, I wonder why. I was like, immediately I got it was angry. And Veronica could tell I was not in a good place. We got there as fast as we can. And you go through and he was in the critical care, and the doctor came in and said, I think we're at the end of it. I'm like, no, he's not at the end of it. It isn't the end. He's been doing, he's doing okay. It's, he's like, I don't think this is going to make it through. We're trying everything. So we got my sister to come out from Vancouver and her fiance, and all 5 of us got to be there. And for the next 4 days, there was ups and downs, but not enough ups. At 5:45 on September 14th, they pulled the plug. They said there'd be no pain, no suffering, he wouldn't know it. And through that course of those days, we were able to talk to him and pray with him, and there was 4 tears. Nothing in his body worked, but the only thing that he could have was he could still hear. No response of anything, but he could still hear. And we said, I love you, Dad, and a tear, right? So just those little moments, we hold on to those forever. And we all went into the room, we all sat, held hands, and then got to be with Jesus. I can say as clearly as this: because of Jesus, my dad's in heaven. Because of that cross, my dad is in the presence of Jesus. The greatest presence. Nothing down here will ever fulfill the way that Jesus will. And when I read the Bible, I'm reminded of everything that Jesus did for us in this moment. Sure, we weren't there, but how we've learned about who Jesus is and how he loves us tells us how we need to act in these situations and in my situation. And to be like him in these moments, man, what? It's all I strive for. And he covered us in that situation. He's covered me since. He's going to cover me tomorrow. All my mistakes, all my shortcomings, all my problems, everything, it's taken at that cross. And when death is defeated and Jesus holds the keys, there's no strength anymore besides that cross, besides Jesus. So that's what Jesus is to me. And I've learned a lot more about who Jesus is through this situation than anything. You can sit in many sermons, but when you need to rely on him completely for everything, in every moment, man, he comes so alive. And not that I want people to go through these things, but I couldn't imagine going through this without Jesus. I couldn't.